gentlemen, welcome aboard this round of flight about 5613, going to London Stansted.
Yep, this is me being removed from Croatia. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Back in 2019, a group of people, including myself, created a country called the Free Republic of Verdis. We were able to do this as neither Croatia or Serbia claimed this land, as they both wanted a larger piece of land on the other side of the Danube River. This allowed us to proclaim Verdis, with it being rightful to the land under international law as it is the oldest active claimant. But things didn't properly take off until mid-2022 when we started to push for a permanent settlement. During this time, we have received support from a number of politicians, political parties, non-government organisations, and a bunch of coverage in the media. We have also been providing and assisting with humanitarian aid in Ukraine and a large amount of surveying of land in Verdis itself in preparation for the permanent settlement, which started last month and was quickly ruined by Croatian authorities, but we'll get to that later in the video. So now that you know a bit about Verdis, we're going to start our story in Dover, England last month, where we were preparing to take one of our boats down to Verdis for the permanent settlement. On the 8th of October, we took the ferry to Calais, where some of the team would drive it down and meet the rest of us there. I had to join the crossing in Calais as the boat was under my name, but I would later take a plane the next day. Waiting at customs was very tedious and slow due to the paperwork, but the team was let in and on their way.
Manuel, myself, Ines, and the supervisor on the cabin together with who I know in.
On the 9th of October, another member of the team and I boarded a flight to Osijek, where we would spend a few days before meeting the rest of the team upon their arrival in Osijek. There were some delays due to issues on the road with the trailer, but eventually we all got there and we prepared to begin the permanent settlement for Verdis. On the 12th of October, we took the vessel to Almash, where we prepared to put it in the water and get started on the journey to Verdis. Due to an issue with one of our engines, we had to switch to a slightly less powerful engine that was only 5 horsepower, and as we were going up the Danube, this meant that it was going to be extremely slow. It took about 2 hours to go 10 kilometers and we arrived in dark. So we have just landed in Verdis. We're currently tying up the boat. This is the beginning of Verdis' permanent settlement. We're here much later than planned. It would have been ideal if it was daylight, but we work with what we've got. The good thing is we're here in one piece and we worked well as a team. Landing in Verdis marks the beginning of the permanent settlement. We quickly set up camp and logged our documents. Aside from a slight problem with a bear that appeared to have swum over from neighbouring Serbia, we all had a comfortable night in preparation to bring more resources back from Croatia tomorrow to begin infrastructure and capacity for registered settlers due to arrive over the coming weeks. In the late morning of the 12th, a settler and I got on our boat to pick up a visitor and journalist in Almash, Croatia, and also pick up extra resources, including more fuel. Hey guys, I'm currently filming in Almash. We went to go get some fuel for the boat, and at a very inopportune time, Croatian police entered Verdis. Not arresting anyone, just having conversation and stuff. They're checking people's IDs and they're waiting for us to come back. We're going to come back. This was a violation of international law, as Croatia didn't and still doesn't claim the lands that Verdis claims. This is also shown on their cadastral mapping. They had no right to be on the territory. The settler told me that one of the officers rubbed his hand in the mud and then on the Verdisian flag as a clear sign of aggression. Only the journalist and I hopped back on the boat, where we had a 2-hour drive up the river, not knowing what was going to happen, only to be immediately detained upon arrival in Verdis. 2 of the settlers were fined, with the reason being camping in a nature reserve. Although once again, Verdis is outside Croatia, and the settlers confronted the nature reserve park rangers a few days later about the matter, which they themselves admitted that the reserve is not part of Verdis, and it even shows that on their brochures. We were repeatedly told that we were not under arrest, but we were also told that we were not allowed to record. We were forced to abide due to the reputation of these authorities to our neighbours up north, who have repeatedly had their personal belongings stolen or thrown into the river. The authorities took us back into Croatia, basically kidnapping us, considering Croatia themselves don't consider the lands that we were on as their own, and they held us for numerous hours and refused to translate documents to us, meaning we didn't know what we were signing. They lied to us about our rights, and they then gave all of us 7 days to leave Croatia or face forced removal. Each of us were banned for at least 3 months. The authorities told me that the Vice President and I were marked specifically as threats to homeland security, and that apparently we were being watched for a while. Although this did not change our ban from Croatia, and we were still only banned for 3 months. After we were free to leave the police station, we were taken back onto the Danube River and dropped back in Verdis to pick up one of our boats, and we drove that down the Danube in the middle of the night with barely any navigation. We asked for a tow or any assistance, and the police refused to give us any help. Some of the settlers drove out of Croatia the next day, while I spent a few more days in Croatia sorting out some of the situation and having meetings with numerous individuals willing to assist us. While Verdis' permanent settlement was quickly destroyed by Croatian authorities, making the time not even half as long as our land surveying trips, I believe this was a pretty big achievement. We are now working with our partners to take legal action against Croatian authorities. You can learn more on the national website, which I have linked in the description. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.